Magandang araw po ulit sa inyong lahat at sana ay nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan lagi. Ito po ay continuation ng ating previous tripping session on the basics of factors. At susubukan naman natin ngayon na gumamit ng ibang numbers na medyo mas malaki ng konti kaysa dun sa mga nagamit natin dati. The last session natin ginamit ang mga examples na numbers gaya ng 2, 3, 4, at 6. Now, there will be times that bigger numbers in focus will be given. And the bigger that number, the more factors there are. And therefore, the more time consumed in looking for and identifying these factors. Maybe we can have another session again using much larger sample numbers and using other additional tips or guides in finding the factors of a number. So, as we have said in our previous session, here are just some simple tips na hopefully makatulong sa atin na pabilisin ang paghahanap sa mga factors. Isama na din natin dito yung mga tips natin dati. Now let's try, see if we can apply this in some numbers which are a little bit bigger than our previous examples. Now, let's use the number 8 as an example. Let's try to see if we can apply some of the tips or reminders na nabanggit natin kanina. So first, a number is potentially divisible by numbers equal to itself or lesser. So don't go beyond, above, or greater than the number in focus. So, ibig sabihin, wag na natin i-divide yung 8 ng numbers greater than 8, like 9 or 10 kasi magre-resulta lang ito sa isang fraction or its decimal equivalent. Next, a number is always divisible by 1 and itself. So, sa example na to, 8 is divisible by 1 and itself, which is the number 8. And therefore, 1 and number 8 are already factors. Next, isang ginagawa ko is to determine the half of the number in focus. For example, sa number 8, ang half nito is 4. So, a number more than half of this cannot be a factor. For example, yung 5, 6, and 7, because dividing 8 by these numbers will result in 1 and a remainder. So, hindi na siya exact divisibility. Therefore, 5, 6, and 7 cannot be considered as factors of 8. Next, an even number is always divisible by 2. In the same manner that an odd number cannot be divisible by 2 or by other even numbers. In this example, 8 is an even number. Therefore, 8 is divisible by 2, and 2 is a factor of 8. Next reminder, the quotient of an exact division is also a factor. Ang tawag ko dito is a partner factor. So, for example, yung 8 divided by 2 resulted in an exact division and the quotient is 4. So, ibig sabihin, yung quotient na 4 is also a factor of 8. Yun yung partner factor ng 2. So, that now leaves us with one number to determine kung factor ba siya ng 8, which is 3. And we see that dividing 8 by 3 results in 2, remainder 2. No exact divisibility, therefore, 3 is not a factor of 8. Now, let's use naman the number 10 as an example. So, a number is potentially divisible by numbers equal to itself or lesser, as we mentioned. So, don't go beyond, above, or greater than the number in focus. So, dito, don't divide 10 anymore with numbers greater than 10 like 11 or 12 or 13 kasi magre-result lang siya sa fraction or a decimal equivalent. Next, a number is divisible by 1 and itself. So in this example, 1 and 10 are factors of 10. Then we determine the half of the number in focus, which is 5 in this example. So a number more than this, other than the number 10 of course, is not divisible because it will result in a number with a remainder. So hindi na kagad sila factors. Next, an even number is divisible by 2 as we mentioned a while ago. So 10 is an even number, therefore 10 is divisible by 2, and therefore 2 is a factor of 10. And since ang quotient ng 10 divided by 2 is 5, 5 is the partner factor of 2, and therefore 5 is a factor of 10. So that leaves us with the numbers 3 and 4 to determine kung factor sila ng 10. And we will see that dividing 10 by 3 or 4 results in a quotient with a remainder. So, hindi sila considered as factors of 10. Now, kids, tingnan natin kasi yung number 7 and 8 reminders are also applicable to this number 10. It says that numbers ending in 5 or 0 are divisible by 5, and also numbers ending in 0 are divisible by 10. So, number 10, it ends in 0. So, both are applicable sa number 10. It's divisible by 5 and also divisible by 10. Now, let's go naman to the number 15 as an example. We already know na hindi na natin kailangang i-divide or mag-ubos ng oras in dividing 15 by a number greater than 15. So let's not go beyond 15 dahil magre-result ito ng fraction or decimal equivalent. Then, we remember that a number is divisible by 1 and itself. So, 1 and 15 are already factors of 15. Then, I divide 15 and find the half, which is 7.5. And we recall that yung mga numbers greater than this, other than the number itself, cannot be considered as factors dahil magre-result ang answer into a number with a remainder. So, hindi na sila considered as factors. So, na-trim down na natin further kung ano pa yung mga potential factors. Now, we have also said that an odd number is not divisible by 2 or other even numbers. So, hindi factors yung 2, 4, 6 kasi magkakaroon ng answer na may remainder. Now, trying the number 3, we divide 15 divided by 3 results in number 5, which is exact number. So 3 is a factor of 15. And this exact quotient can be considered as a partner factor of 3. So 5 is also a factor of 15. So dividing 15 by 5 equals 3, which is an exact number. So this now leaves us with the number 7 to try kung factor ba siya. And we see that if we divide 15 by 7, we get the quotient which is 2 with the remainder 1. Therefore, walang exact divisibility, and 7 cannot be considered as a factor of 15. Kids, the number 7 remainder is also applicable to this number 15 example because it says that numbers ending in 5 and 0 are divisible by 5. And the number 15 ends in 5. Therefore, divisible ang 15 by 5, and 5 is a factor. Also, take a look at the reminder number 9. Ito naman, checking for divisibility by 3. So what we do is we try to add the digits, and if the sum of these digits is divisible by 3, then 3 is a factor of this number. For example, 15. Ano yung digits niya? It has the digits 1 and 5. So 1 plus 5 equals 6. And 6 is divisible by 3. Therefore, this number 15 is divisible by 3. And 3 is a factor of 15. For our examples today, as well as the previous session, we note that numbers may have 2 or more factors. And numbers which has factors limited to only 2, such as number 1 and itself, they are referred to as prime numbers. While on the other hand, if a number has 2 or more factors, then they are referred to as composite numbers. So example ng mga prime numbers, 1, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, etc. While example nga ng mga composite numbers, yung mga binigay natin kaninang example, are 4, 6, 8, 10, 15, and so on and so forth. So sa susunod na tripping session natin, maybe we can have more samples using higher numbers and see which additional tips and reminders we can still apply. Tandaan po natin, sa math ay maaaring may iba't ibang paraan ng pagtuturo, pag-aaral at paghanap ng solusyon sa isang problem. Ang importante ay makuha din natin ang tamang kasagutan. Kung nakatulong po at nagustuhan nyo itong video na ito, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Always keep safe and healthy mga ka-tripsters. God bless always at hanggang sa muling tripping natin.